Sergey Brin co-founded Google, and today he serves as the sole director and president of a private foundation that has become a massive force in global research. The Sergey Brin Family Foundation controls nearly $5 billion in assets, yet the organization maintains no website, accepts no unsolicited applications, and provides no public information about its philanthropic goals. Brin created this entity in 2014, following his divorce from Anne Wojcicki and their separation from the jointly operated Brin-Wojcicki Foundation. This creates a unique operational puzzle. Usually, an organization moving billions of dollars across international borders leaves a significant trail of public infrastructure. To find that trail here, we have to look at the only document the foundation is legally required to make public, IRS Form 990-PF. When a mega foundation operates in total silence, the tax ledger is the only objective map of its strategic behavior. Private foundations are legally required to file this form to prove that they are actually using their tax-exempt status for public benefit rather than simply hoarding wealth. The 2021 filing for the Sergey Brin Family Foundation, CO Pacific Foundation Services in San Francisco, provides the primary data for our audit. In Item I, the foundation declares the fair market value of its total assets, $4,934,200,000 to station's daily operations. The 990-PF logs every block of stock held, every dollar spent on specialized consultants, and the specific destination of every grant. To understand Brin's influence, we have to track this capital from its equity source to its scientific destination. The foundation's $4.9 billion endowment is not a static pool of cash. It is actively invested in the global market. Part 2 of the return breaks down these holdings, detailing exactly how the foundation stores its wealth across different asset classes. Line 10B reveals that the bulk of this value, over $3.3 billion, is held in corporate stock. This chart shows the distribution of the foundation's assets. Roughly 2/3 of the entire endowment is held directly in Alphabet Inc. Class A and Class C shares. The foundation generates liquidity by selling off blocks of this stock. In 2021, it realized more than $448 million in capital gains from asset sales. This concentration means the foundation's ability to issue grants is directly tied to the market performance of Google's parent company. The Brin Foundation is essentially a multi-billion-dollar stake in Alphabet Inc. that has been dedicated to charitable purposes. To ensure foundations actually spend their money, federal law mandates a minimum investment return, requiring them to distribute roughly 5% of their investment assets every year. Part 9 shows the calculation for this mandatory floor. In 2021, the IRS required the Brin Foundation to distribute at least $222,129,000. This is a strict legal baseline. Failing to meet this payout would result in heavy tax penalties for the foundation. This creates a recurring logistical hurdle. The organization must identify and vet enough recipients to move nearly $250 million every 12 months. The 2021 filings show they met this challenge, reaching over $242 million in qualifying distributions. The federal tax code acts as a pump, forcing hundreds of millions of dollars out of the endowment and into the economy every year. Dispersing capital at this scale requires massive operational support. The foundation recorded $36 million in total operating and administrative expenses for the year. Since the foundation has no employees of its own, it must buy its strategic and scientific intelligence from outside the organization. Part 7 lists the contractors who actually run the foundation's day-to-day operations and strategic planning. They paid $1.85 million to the Coalition for Aligning Science, LLC, for scientific and technical consulting services. The ledger also shows $4.4 million on research and strategy and $4.3 million on communications consulting. This $36 million overhead represents the cost of outsourcing the leadership of a multi-billion-dollar philanthropic fund. The foundation operates as a headless entity, directed by a network of high-priced consultants who identify the specific targets for Brin's capital. Part 15 of the form, the grant ledger, reveals exactly where those consultants are aiming the foundation's wealth. Mapping these grants reveals a hyper-concentrated field of specialized scientific research, with one area of study receiving the vast majority of the funding. In 2021, the foundation issued a single grant of $101.2 million to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. This singular payment represents nearly 42. The Form 990-PF provides the proof that Sergey Brin's philanthropy is the institutionalized, heavily audited deployment of corporate equity into targeted human advancement.